Hey, friends. It's been a minute, hasn't it? I trust all is well with you, or at least as well as it can be in this weird, wild, and wonderful world. I am checking in this solstice season to share a little bit about what's happening in my world. And as you probably know, the last 2 years, Veda Dave has gone dormant. And this is as I embraced my role as the director of events for Dr. Zach Bush. And this is after 12 years of eager experiments, maybe a bit of overexertion, which all led to burnout as a solo entrepreneur. And so it's been something of a relief to set that identity aside for a time to let it rest and reset while I set about serving an inspiring mission that is not my own. And what I didn't know is that this was the start of an initiation into a larger death and rebirth cycle. Working with Zach has been inspiring and instructive in so many ways. And as the year wore on, it became clear to him that I had outgrown this role. And he started saying things like, I see myself in you. You're not going to be happy playing second fiddle to me long term. You need to be sharing your work with the world. And so this is provocative to my little self image, but also supremely encouraging. And I've been settling into who I've always been. So please allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is David Telfer McConaughey. My middle name, Telfer, is my mother's maiden name passed down to me through our Scottish ancestry. Now, there have always been pockets of people in my life who know me just as Telfer, but for some reason, I never felt like I was allowed to ask everyone to call me by what is actually my preferred name. So at the end of this summer, I sought out my esteemed uncle, one of the main characters in my life, and the only other man I know who goes by Telfer, and requested and received his blessing to claim that name as my own. Then, as a symbolic act, I offered all of my remaining Vedadave business cards to the funereal pyre that is the temple at Burning Man. There's a death and a rebirth. And as with the birth of any new being into this world, the question is, who are you? With what momentum and trajectory do you enter this life? And so, who, I wonder, is Telfer? So, here's what I know. Etymologically, the name Telfer comes from the French taillefer, which literally translates as to cut iron. And yes, my Scottish ancestors were indeed metal workers, but apparently it was also used as a nickname for a fierce warrior, one who pierces iron. Meanwhile, Urban Dictionary says that Telfer is one who destroys without malice, which is interesting and made me wonder if and how that maps onto who I know myself to be. And I realize in my life, I have participated in a long list of projects, my own included, that on some level lacked integrity. And without any conscious effort on my part, my mere presence seemed to expose those instabilities. And in some cases, the whole structure collapsed in the aftermath of my contributions. And so, what is it to destroy without malice? I think of the sun, which provides all the heat and light that makes life possible on this planet. It nourishes all the plants that grow into food and medicine. And at the same time, the sun makes those same plants wilt. And the sun will just as soon warm and tan our bodies as burn our skin and leave us dead when lost in the desert. Fire will just as soon cook your dinner as burn your house down. But either way, the fire and the sun, they're not mad. They're not acting out of vengeance or punishment. They're just expressing the true nature of sun. Likewise, a butterfly must destroy its cocoon if it's going to fly. That cocoon served its purpose, created a container that was safe enough for total transformation, becoming that caterpillar's tomb, and then the butterfly's womb. And the butterfly has no malice towards the cocoon, but nonetheless needs to break it in order to live out its purpose. And so it is, I believe, with both personal and planetary evolution. And as I embrace this identity, I realize this is what I've always done with Ayurveda and astrology is to help people break down the limiting conditions of their old identity in order to make space for a more authentic, up-to-date identity to arise and express itself. And this is what I intend to do more explicitly moving forward. Ayurveda, Vedic astrology will always be part of what I do, but the theory and practice of internal family systems and the Animus Valley approach to wild mind guiding are taking center stage. And with this in mind, I've created Ecotone Academy in order to offer embodied education for the evolution from ego to eco, helping people shed the too small skin of their egoic self and step into their true identity as an individual, intimately interwoven within the web of all beings. So I'll be sharing more about the how, the what, most importantly, the why of this fresh expression. But I am grateful that you're here with me on the journey. The earth itself is in the midst of a massive identity transformation, and I believe we are wise to be consciously evolving alongside her. So until next time, many blessings from your friend, Telfer.